Hello, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome back to another week of KBBU Behind the Scenes with me, Michelle Green, and the KBBU team. Hey, some of our team members are missing tonight because officially we have graduated. If you're watching us for the first time, listen, we are a business university and we have four core subject matters that we take our students through, and they have actually graduated last Wednesday. So we are celebrating their graduation. Congratulations to all of you and our VIP Master's Class students that also graduated, two of which are here. Congratulations, y'all, too. We are so excited. Yes, we are. Awesome. So, even though we don't have a class tonight, we know that some of you are watching KBBU just so that you can get some entrepreneur tips, some tips on starting a business, some tips on maintaining a business, some tips on influencing in your business. So we are still going to keep this thing going. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about tonight from certificate to CEO. All right, so once you graduate from KBBU and we teach you how to set up your business right, how to make sure that you got your contract agreements, all of your licenses and copyrights and trademarks and all of these different things, then we take our students through money, credit, and funding. So we talk about how to get those bank accounts set up, how to handle your taxes, how to take care of all things money and credit. We get you some business credit, some vendor accounts, and then we teach you about the funding. So about getting some major loans as well as some grants. Then that's not all we do at KBBU. We then take you on into business and life management. So business and life management is going to teach you how to manage your life, how to balance that life, how to have harmony with your personal and your business life. And last but not least, we have the great Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, as well as Coach Yoshi that handles the marketing, media, and sales piece. So we're going to show you how to gain that exposure that you need for your business to continue to go forward in life. That's right, how to maintain a business that is successful generation after generation, okay? So after now that you have graduated, especially for all the KBBU alumni out there that's watching tonight, we are going to talk about what you really need to prepare yourself for now that you are no longer in class every Wednesday from 7:30 to 9. Okay, so what about that certificate to, CEO? Let's go with Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. How did you feel when you graduated from the undergraduate course and now that didn't have anything to do on Wednesday? What happened?
First of all, I felt lost today. I was like, what am I gonna do? But I mean, I filled up my day quite well because being a CEO, there are always things that you can do within your business. But how I felt graduating the undergraduate, first of all, and I have been in a lot of people's classes, a lot of different schools and everything like that, but your school has challenged me the most. Out of every single school I have ever been a part of, I have never been challenged in this way before. Passing tests used to be fairly easy for me, and I had to get humbled, baby, when I got in KBBU because, honey, I did not pass that test the first time, second time, took about 3 times to get that test passed. I was crying, what's going on? I used to have the 4.0 in my major and a 3.0 in curriculum. What is going on? And it just tested me in so many different ways on a personal as well as business. That's what I like about KBBU, because regular schools is just teaching you whatever it is that you're going to study. If it's business setup or whatever the case may be, you're going to just learn that. It's not going to get to the core of who you are and why you do what you do and how you can ultimately fix the person. It's separated. Your personal is separate from your business, but the beauty about KBBU is that it brings it all together, and it it just grow. I just can't even explain it. I tell people, if you really want to understand KBBU, you have to come in and experience it. I mean, I could tell you my experience, I could tell you all the different things, but it's a different experience for each person based upon where they're currently at in their personal life and their business. And if you work the curriculum and the program the way that it is designed to be worked, there is no fail gap. You will not fail if you work it the way it is intended to be worked. So graduating from KBBU undergrad was one of the happiest days of my life, because I not only had my breakthrough from a professional standpoint, but also from a personal standpoint. And then going on to the VIP, which is a whole different situation. You think you know a little something. You think you know a little something because you graduated from the undergraduate. But then when you go to VIP, you know, very important person, flip my collar, clench my purse,
right.
going on. And then you soon understand that you don't know what you think you know, and you got to get down in the trenches, which Preston can talk about trenches because he is a veteran. You got to get down in them trenches and you be like, wait a minute. I still got a whole lot more work to do. So graduating from VIP last weekend was very amazing, because it was like crossing the threshold to a whole new Dr. Tina, a whole new person on a level that I never was on before. I am walking on new ground, new waters, and the world is truly, you hear people say the world is your oyster. Well, that is true. When one has the right knowledge with execution and have the strategies, the systems, and understand not only what to do, but how to do it, it's just open. The possibilities are endless, and you truly start to have the mindset and understand what abundance truly means, and you start being able to have that financial freedom, that mental health freedom. You're not, it's just so much that is just freedom for me. That was my experience. So undergrad, KBBU, VIP is absolutely amazing. So if you guys, and this is good for you if you are a seasoned entrepreneur as well as a person just beginning. Don't think just because you got 3, 5, 7, 10 years, 20 years up under your belt that you do not need this. Yes, you do. You need it. You need it. You really do need it. And so I don't know, and just the celebration of it all, and seeing not just myself, but most importantly, seeing the transformation of all my other classmates from how we were when we first entered VIP or entered undergrad to now where we are now. Everyone has substantial growth in not only their business, but their character, the way that they handle themselves, their posture. Everything is on a whole different level. I mean, look at Preston over there. Look at him over there. He is our valedictorian doing the thing. And I remember meeting Preston. He was one of the, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the coaches when I went undergrad. But then we ended up being in the same VIP. So I was able to get to know him on a whole different level. And seeing where he was and seeing how far he's come. And that's just like with all the other coaches and also the graduates as well. We've been in them trenches together. I almost feel like I went through boot camp. You know, I'm like, give me my fatigues because I need me some, baby. Because I've been fighting, you know, and God's been good. That's the only thing I gotta say. It's just an amazing experience. So you guys scan the QR code, go ahead and go to kbbulllc.com. Go ahead and get in there. Just you only gonna get one-on-one sessions right now, but you need them too. I get them. I have to on the phone all the time. Like, girl, can I get my 1-on-1? I need the 1-on-1. Put me on your schedule.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Yes. Preston, what you got to say about your undergrad experience all the way up to now? What you got to say, sir?
You can think you know everything and have one conversation with a KBBU coach or Michelle, and you be like, "Ooh, I need some schooling." So let me go in here, you know. But I'll give you this much: the phrase "I didn't know that" is not a bad thing, because that's what KBBU is here to do. It is here to get you that knowledge, to get you on the right track, right? And Michelle is teaching every last one of us the exact same thing, but your business, whatever your business, program is, your business acuity, your acumen, all of that, that's where it takes us in those different routes. You have some seasoned people that will come to KBBU and they'll need that one or two things, to take their good business and make it better. Then you have them brand newbies, that don't have a clue, right? And that's not a bad thing, right? Everybody, you got to learn by doing, you got to come in here, you got to get this knowledge, and Michelle doesn't segment her knowledge. There's lesson plans, but these lesson plans are a part of the total package. It's not one of them she'll get you hyped up and then slide for an additional $69, you can get this. That's not what we do. That's not how we function here. And then it's the humanity of it all, She's not just teaching. She don't put on her happy face, come in here and teach and then, take it off, and go stomp off, This is who she is. This is who Dr. Tina is. This is who I am, right? All day, every day, And I have been blessed to be here, Like I say, my whole adventure started on a field trip for some fifth graders. And here I am, VIP masterclass graduate, undergraduate coach, and it is very fulfilling and I love it here. So if you're out here watching, like you said, KBBU is the place to be. All right. This is what you need.
Valedictorian at that. Valedictorian at that. Congratulations. Yes. I don't know if you guys heard last week, but we announced that Mr. Preston is the valedictorian of the KBBU coaches.
Y'all can't see my thumbs. They there though. 2 thumbs up.
Hey, yes, congratulations again, Preston. Yes.
And I thank you all for that. Yes, indeed.
Yes, you grew the most. You put forth the most effort. You were the one that really stood out in this semester course. But we gave 3 different categories. So it was the undergraduate valedictorian, which was Miss Anna Brothers. Shout out to Miss Anna. It was Preston as the coach of valedictorians. And then we had the VIP Masters class, Miss Jasmine Grayson, that was the valedictorian. Oh my God, it was such an amazing time for us to be able to celebrate with you all. I was so excited that each person from each category was able to win that prize. But y'all really put in the work. I'm telling you, y'all did the thing. So tonight we're going to switch this up a little bit and we're going to bring to you some actual classroom information. So I'm going to talk about tonight, when we think about graduating and we think about we have ended one of the highest levels that we possibly have ever been at in our life, but then we go down to the highest next level. We're going to another level, but we're going to start at the bottom of the next level, even though we graduated from this tier. So we were at the highest tier that we could arrive to. We graduate and then we go to the next tier and we're back to the freshman stage, okay? So you're not a senior anymore. And I want you guys to really begin to think about what is it going to take in order for you to last or make it as an entrepreneur, because we're talking about you've got your certificate now. But now that you got your certificate, what does that mean? That means that, yeah, you are certified from KBBU. You have your certificate, but it's something that you're putting on the wall that you can be proud of. But now it's time for you to get into the nitty gritty. So what does it take every day for you to stay focused on being a person who has graduated to a person who is really embracing the ownership of CEO? See, some of you have come through classes and become an entrepreneur from the perspective of you just wanted something on paper. And others of you have come through the class and you are thinking, okay, I really got to figure out how to make some money doing what I love to do or doing what I have established as a business to do. Some of you are really taking this thing seriously. So in order for you to be able to really sustain a business long term, what's going to have to happen is first, you're going to have to change your mindset. Your mind cannot be set on just learning. You're going to learn throughout the process, but you're also going to have to change your mindset from shifting to being someone that's always receiving to the person that is now going to take charge. You know, some of us that came through the classes, we were people who kind of like sat in the background and we were like cute and had our cameras off. And, you know, we were just like in the cut, you know, behind the scenes. And we didn't really want to be at the forefront of the whole equation of being an entrepreneur. But if you are a CEO, how in the world can you be the true CEO that God has called you to be if you are always behind the scenes, if you are always in the cut, if you are always hidden and nobody knows who you are or what it is that you do? If only your family and friends know who you are and what it is that you do, then how can you really become that global person that's going to make an impact, that is going to be able to do the things that God has called your life to do? How can that happen if you're going to be behind the scenes? If you're going to not open up and embrace full ownership of what God has put in your hands? See, now is the time for you to begin to change the day-to-day lifestyle that you have established. See, all of us are very comfortable in our lifestyles. All of us are very comfortable with how things are flowing. Okay, well, I might have a job and I go to my job from 8 to 5 or whatever. I get off and I'm going to cook dinner. I get off, I'm going to take care of my kids. I pick them up from school. Okay, school's out right now. So the kids at home and they're eating up all your food. Okay, so all that's gone. That's done away with. All right. Then we look at, okay, what other routines do you have in place at home right now? What routines do you have in the workforce? So the things that you are accustomed to, that you are comfortable doing, like many of you are out there watching Straw right now. Some of y'all are, you watching us, but you trying to watch something on Netflix. You used to sitting down, having your dinner at a certain time. You're used to calling your BFF or your friend or whoever, your spouse. You used to doing certain things a certain way. But when you arrive from certificate to ownership to CEO, you have to begin to change your patterns. Your lifestyle of routine has to be something that is completely different in order for you to be able to sustain the lifestyle of being an owner. You're going to have to come out of the regular routine of what you've been accustomed to. You can no longer be the person that's going through the same cycle of things that you're used to doing, because you will not be able to make it. You will not be able to sustain that lifestyle. So what's going to happen is, see, our brains are accustomed to remembering what it was in the past. And they are less likely, especially the way that the world has conditioned us in this day and time, it has really shifted us apart from the creativity that you need to understand that you have more of than you do of what's in the past. What's in that memory bank of your brain is about as small as a pea, but your creativity is as big as the entire universe. So when you think about what is in your creativity bank every single day, it's not going to be something that's going to come out with ease. It's not something that's going to come to you just by chance. It only was coming out while you were connected to the classroom. But now that you are on your own every single day, day in and day out, you're going through a routine, you're going through your daily comfortability, you are comfortable doing the thing that you've been doing, then guess what? Now is the time for you to begin to disrupt, like uproot your routine. Now is the time for you to understand, because If you don't change your mindset and the way that you think and your routine, your comfortableness, then what's going to happen is you're only going to remember what was. And what's going to happen is your brain is going to go all the way back. Before you even came to KBBU, before you even came to class, before you met any of us, it's going to go back to all of those negative things that were in the past that told you you couldn't do it, that told you that you was too tired, that told you that you was too sick, that told you that you was too exhausted, that told you that you just didn't want to deal with these people right now, and you just don't want to deal with trying to figure out how to push your business forward. That's what's going to happen if you are not careful and don't understand how to change your mindset. So if you're going from certificate to ownership to CEO, you first have to change the way that you think. Every single day, you got to get used to being uncomfortable. You got to get into the mindset that I got to find something that is creative for me to do every single day. What am I talking about? I used to be the kind of person when I first came off the job and I was a CEO and I thought that, because I'm a CEO, I'm a business owner. Hey, can't nobody tell me nothing. And I'm talking about, it wasn't recent. It was back in 1992. I was making $3,000 a month. And back then, that was a lot of money. And right now, it's still a lot of money for some of you. Okay? And I thought I was the stuff. I didn't have no kids. I'm out here doing my thing. And I just thought that, you know what? I can do this life however I want to do it. So I ended up having to go back into the workforce for an amount of years, probably about 10 or 15 years, something like that. And then when I came back out again, I still had the mindset of an employee. I did not have a mindset of an employer. I did not have a mindset of understanding that my work ethic still had to be maintained in order for me to be able to do the things that God had called me to do. I didn't understand that I couldn't sleep in the bed late. I didn't understand that I had to get some rest. I didn't understand that I had to be prepared and be on time. I didn't understand that I didn't have the rights that I thought I had because the money wasn't there. The money is not there right now because you just graduated from KBBU. So from certificate to ownership, from certificate to being a CEO, what you got to understand is that you cannot continue or to afford to live the same mindset that you have been living without creativity. So what is it that you're going to implement into your life to allow you to bring about creativity? What is it that you are going to begin to implement into your life that maybe you pull from KBBU? Maybe you need to read a book at night. Maybe you need to exercise in the morning. Maybe you need to get up and go to the gym or go on that treadmill that's sitting in your house that you ain't touched in 10 or 15 years. Maybe you need to do something that is completely outside of the box that scares the heck out of you, that you don't know that you can do it until you start to do it. That's what it's going to take in order for you to be able to sustain your business. It's not just about having a certificate and being able to put it on the wall. It's about you understanding that you have been called for a purpose such as this. And this purpose is not something to take lightly because this is your life. Are you not tired of being broke? Are you not tired of showing people one thing, but behind closed doors, you over there curled up in an embryo position and you crying your eyeballs out because you tired? You know that you don't have enough money to make ends meet. You know that you haven't done the things in the order that you were supposed to do them. It's okay that we make a mistake, but what we got to understand, y'all, is that we got to make things happen regardless of the circumstances of our life. The people who win, they just did one more thing that you chose not to do in order for them to get to the other side. They were facing the same obstacles that you were facing. I faced the same challenges that you have faced and probably 1,000 more. And whereas I didn't give up, I didn't stop, I didn't decide that I'm going to quit. I didn't decide that, okay, we're going to stop doing KBBU behind the scenes because it's Wednesday and the class done graduated. So whoever been watching us and getting these entrepreneurship tips, oh, well, we just going to stop doing that. No, that's not how we do things. That's not how we go about a life when we decide that we have graduated and we're now in the position of being able to accrue wealth. You cannot accrue wealth in the same state of mind that you was in yesterday. You got to be able to have something that is feeding your brain all the time. I guess it's the feeding of your music. Maybe you got certain kind of music that's feeding your mind. Maybe you got the environment of people that's feeding your mind. Maybe you got the environment of your family members and your friends that's feeding your mind. Maybe it's the job. Maybe it's the business setting. Whatever it is that's feeding your mind, you got to understand that you are unique. You are different. You are not the same person that you were. But if you don't put any changes in your thought process, if you do not begin to bring in some kind of creativity, then your mind is going to go backwards to what it used to be. All right, I'm about done. I'm about done. Y'all want to chime in? I done took over the whole.
I'm gonna sum up what she said. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. You'll go back to factory reset. All right.
That's right, factory reset. Yes, Tina over there looking like she back in the classroom. Come on, Dr. Tina, you okay?
Yeah, I'm back in the classroom. Stop. No, you are exactly right, because I know what this is when you was talking like that. I know when the Holy Spirit start working. I can hear it in your voice, and when it starts changing and how you be doing, I like, she got a word. But yeah, I hope you really paid attention, you guys, to what Michelle just said, because sometimes we celebrate too long. It's okay to be happy and to celebrate yourself, but the whole rest of your time should not be a celebration. Ooh. So you celebrate for that moment and you get back on and start doing the work, because the longer you separate yourself from the activity that actually helped you get the certificate, the more you're not going to be able, it's going to be harder and harder for you to be able to start back over, not start back over, start again, or be able to pick up. You're going to have to, like she said, you have to keep your mind going. Entrepreneurship is not, once you get it right one time, you always have it right. It's just like working out your faith. You got to keep working that out. You got to keep getting better. You got to keep asking for God's help. That's the same thing with entrepreneurship. It is basically a relationship that you have to consistently give time, energy, nurturing to every single day. Now, mind you, some days you may do a little bit more in your business than others, but it is still something that you have to give attention to every day, just like if you have a child, okay? If for some of you who don't have children, trust and believe, you got no fur babies at home. So right. you if you don't have that, some of you got a combination of both, fur babies and babies. Now listen. Now, you can't go 24 hours out feeding your fur babies or your children, can you? But you don't supposed to. I say it like that. You don't supposed to. So the same thing with your business. You can't just go and leave it idle. And I feel like in this era of so many technology advances, we are starting to be, like Preston said, I'm gonna say this right here, like in auto mode, in the autopilot. Because you can't allow AI, you can't allow automation to automate your customer experience to the point that you remove yourself completely from your business and brand. Because this is the era that it is necessary and essential because people want to connect with the visionary. And so you need to figure out how you're going to do that, but you're going to have to work in your business every single day. You can use the systems, but don't overuse them to the fact that you lose the heartbeat of your company and your why you're doing it. Because the more you don't work within your business, the more disconnected you become, the more callous you become, the more heartless you become. And I know that's a hard word to say, heartless, but remember when you first started your business, it started because you had heart, you had desire, you had love. But when you disconnect, your heart become hardened. Yes, your perspective become very inconsistent. It changes to the fact that it start confusing you. What good is good, what good is not good, and what bad is good. Your mind start getting reshifted because now you're not, and that's why KBBU is so important, because you have to keep yourself in the midst of people who are running the race with you. But like Preston said earlier, we're all doing different things, getting the same information, but we're still running the race. And even though Preston is in travel and I'm in media and marketing with a digital marketing firm, I get motivated when I see him. When I hear something he says that is, he can say something the way that I may have not got it, and then he say it a certain kind of way, and I'm like, oh man, I get it now. Because different perspectives, iron sharpens iron, right? And so you have to stay connected. So now that we're having, I would say this is a break. What I would say is, because this never happened before where we had this amount of time spread between, because we used to go from one class to the next, that's VIP and also undergrad. But this is a test. Will you keep your hand on the pulse? On the gas? Or would you slow down and put your car in neutral? You're just going to coast? This is going to really separate who's in it to win it and who's just there.
Right.
Okay? This is a separation. And so make sure that you're on the right side of the separation, that you're going to be on the other end, because you have all the tools that you need, but now you got to consistently work this thing. And that's just for me too, because it's easy to get lazy. It's easy to get nonchalant, especially when you've been doing it a long time, or if I know you've been really working hard in KBBU, because it ain't an easy class to take or do. And now you're like, yeah, I'm getting ready to rest for a little while. Yeah, I'm gonna take maybe 1 week off. Then that 1 week turned to 2 weeks. And that 2 weeks turned to 3 weeks. Then turn to a month. What's that thing you say, Preston? You start getting to say that you said it ain't a day of the week that's there.
Eventually. That is not a day of the week.
That become your new day. That become your new day. Then that day, what happened?
Exactly.
It's very easy, and don't be so overconfident that you think it can't happen to you. Because if you think
throw me the alley-oop. Let me take it from there. Contentment will get you, all right? Because every time you learn something, like when you accomplish undergraduate, VIP was the upgrade. All right. That's what people don't understand. Every time you reach a threshold, Michelle said it earlier, you reach the threshold, you're at the highest tier of what you're studying. When you go to the next level, you're starting at the bottom. You can use like the plain old education, so the elementary, middle school, high school. I was the rowdiest 8th grader. I was the scariest 9th grader because I was new. I was at the bottom of the heap again, right?
Exactly.
In the military, I was a senior non-commissioned officer, right? And I went to the next ranks, I would have been starting at the bottom, right? So you're always learning, you're always progressing, right? And when you get out there and get complacent and you basking in your ambience, not realizing you're the entrepreneur to your left and your right, they never stop learning. They never stop studying. So what you said to Dr. Tina was good. You can get into this automation, but it is always going to need human oversight. Your businesses can run. You can set up, my stuff is set up to run websites. You know, people can click on there, but it's always one aspect that I have to go and look. I get an alert, I get an indicator, and I have to go look and make sure everything's running smooth. And that's what people get caught up in all this new technology he's talking about. You know, a class like this, the undergraduate and the VIP will show you how to stay grounded. They will show you how to stay focused. They will show you how to seek out. It's not necessarily, don't sit there and get spoon-fed. We can all get spoon-fed. We all been spoon-fed as babies, but eventually we grab that spoon, put our fists around that mud with no food might be flying everywhere, but eventually you start feeding yourself, right? You know,
that's right.
And that's right. That's the undergraduate. You know, we gonna teach you how to fish. And then you're going to get out there and start reeling them in, okay? And then I also say like this, in order for you to really validate what you know, teach somebody how to do it better. Right?
Come on, Preston!
In order for you to validate your knowledge, go out there and teach somebody exactly, you know, teach them how to do it better, right? There's no secret handbooks, you know, no. Yeah, the Colonel got his 13 herbs and spices, Coke got their secret formula, you know, we're going to let them have that, you know. But if you come through this class and you are calling yourself business savvy, show it, right? Because that will pay you dividends as well. Because the people, and another thing I was going to key on, Dr. Tina, what you said, Michelle, it's the collaboration behind it. I didn't know Dr. Tina before this. Now that is my sis. I can't live without her. I didn't know Michelle before this. Now when she called me, I'd be fighting on what if Michelle called it bubbling and everything, you know? So, and that goes to all the coaches, Yoshi, Cornell, Doris, Mr. Carl. That's my buddy, Mr. Carl. I miss old Mr. Carl, you know. Mary. My sponsor, Jaquisha, Dr. Mary, you know. I give all y'all a shout out tonight and all the graduates that have came through, right?
Yes.
All of y'all are now my business family. You stuck with me. Just deal with it.
I say, I love you and you can't do anything about
it. Exactly. And to make y'all laugh at what Dr. Tina was saying, yeah, I got a calendar that I got to get rid of. I got to put that thing in the shredder and burn it and go bury it because it's the 8th day of the week and it's called eventually because I be doing everything eventually, right? And I'm Monday through Sunday through Saturday. Now, eventually I'll get to it. You know, I got to stop doing that, right?
Right.
We do not celebrate procrastination. Procrastination have you on the side broke. Hey, you poor. We don't want that, right?
Exactly. So what we are saying tonight, guys, is that to go from certificate to CEO, to be the owner of your company, really you ain't the owner. Let me just establish that you are the manager of the organization. We believe that even though you may have been the one that has been selected to lead the organization, it's really God's company. It's really his organization. It's what he put in your heart to develop and to cultivate and to be able to share with the world. So stop playing games with your life because you don't know how long you got. You know, we lost a family member today and God rest his soul. But, you know, you never know when you're getting ready to take your last breath. Even though God promised us that 120 years, you just don't know how much time you got left. So while you're over there playing games with your life, you could be playing games and tomorrow could be your last day. And that's not to discourage anybody, but that's just simply the truth, y'all. We waste too much time doing nothing, things that don't matter, things that don't mean that much. So we got to change. And that's what we are bringing to you tonight in KBBU Behind the Scenes. All right. So listen, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscribe button at kb.michellegreen on the YouTube channel. And also make sure that you are following us everywhere on the CTR Media platform. That's right, Dr. Tina J. Ramsey right here, founder, owner of CTR Media Network. Make sure you get on the network. If you want to do a podcast, if you want to do a TV show, you need to give her a call. Y'all see the number below. She has an extension right here at KBBU, just as well as Preston. If you want to go on that travel, listen. As a matter of fact, let's talk about this right here. Do y'all know that we have an event coming up in October? Do y'all know that in October on the 11th that we are celebrating the Media and Wealth Summit? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So you need to be in the room. If you really enjoyed what we talked about tonight, and especially for all the KBBU alumni, there is absolutely no reason why you should make any excuse and not be there to meet everybody in person. Come on, your classmates, your KBBU family. You got to make sure that you get those VIP tickets. We have VIP tickets. We have general seating, but I promise you, I don't even think we got but one person that signed up for general seating. Everybody else is getting those VIP seats, or they are submitting their services and products through the vendor tables. That's right, VIP vendor tables. That's what I'm trying to call them now. Going forward, they are VIP because it's very important. People, everybody ain't gonna be able to get a vendor table, baby. I'm trying to tell you today. But if you got that product or that service, and you come through us, and we see that it is something that will benefit or that can be gained through our event, listen. You are in the house, baby, with your products and services. And we ain't talking about no small talk. We talking about 300 plus people. 300 plus people in the house. Okay? Then you get a chance to meet all of us. And then we got coming to the stage. And it's not just me, it's Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. Tell them a little something about what you coming to talk about.
Of course, you know what I do. I stick to what I do. Media and marketing. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to be teaching you guys some more inside secrets on how you can level up your entrepreneurship or even your personal brand. Some of you are a brand in itself. You are the brand, right? And so how do you actually level this new era of digital marketing? How do you leverage media in order to actually drive home an income? We're going to be teaching you all of that stuff at the Media and Wealth Summit. I am not the only one, because guess what? Visibility is a thing. If you are an entrepreneur or a content creator and you are not visible, then what are you doing? Wait a minute, what are you doing? I mean, I just need I need you to decide really just to rest right there. Like, what? I don't care how great your products or services are if no one knows that you exist. You have to stop this hiding, because you're trying to figure out why your money looking funny, why you're not making the impact that you want to make, because you still don't want to do that website. Oh, I'm not going to post about my business online. I might make people upset. And tell them to scroll up if they don't want to see it. Like, we have to get out of the mindset. We have to get out of that mindset. So we're going to be helping you. Michelle and I, we're not the only ones bringing to the table the information that we know. We are also bringing other people along the way that's going to help you with branding, visibility, wealth, grants. We have Dr. Michael Finkley, Dr. Nikki Ziegler. We have Mr. Lee Williams and Dr. Mary Hancock, all of which is going to be bringing you everything from media and the wealth perspective, the Kingdom Way. We are definitely going to be changing lives, because at this event, there is no gatekeeping.
None.
No gatekeeping.
Not a bit. Not a single bit.
Yeah, so the questions that you've been burning to ask somebody, and or maybe you've been, I know I see you guys on my consultation link, but you see that comment, you be like, oh, I don't know. Lord, I don't know, Gia. I don't know, Gia. Listen, you better get up in that room and pay that little $100. Well, it's $97. Pay that little $97. I tell you right now, you can ask me whatever you want to ask me dealing with media and marketing, podcasts, and TV streaming and all that stuff like that, and how I do what I do in monetization while I'm on that stage. But when I step out that stage, out that building, get in my car and drive off, the price has just went back to the original prices. So you come come and
Get
ask me.
in where you fit in, for
I
sure.
want you to come and ask me. I want you to use this as an opportunity because I'm not the only one in the building that knows some things. We're rubbing shoulders with individuals that know even more than me. Okay? And they're going to be bringing their information as well. I want you to come ready. Don't just come to the event just to take in information and knowledge. I want you to come and be strategic and plan and have that strategy. What is a strategy for an event? Just don't come to the event without any business cards. Don't come, or if you don't have paper business cards, make sure that you have a digital business card. Don't come to the event without letting people know who you are, being able to explain what your business is. Come to the event and give yourself an assignment that you're going to at least talk to 3 to 5 people. You're going to make sure that you get uncomfortable so that you can grow. Because trust and believe, if I see you over there in the corner by yourself and God allow me to lock eyes and see you doing nothing, I'm going to walk up to you. I'm like, what you doing? What you doing? Who you is? What you do? Because this is not the event for you to watch on the sidelines. This is the event for you to get totally immersed, to be able to ask the questions so that you can get the knowledge, so that you can execute and create the life that you want to have for yourself. Do not be fooled by the economy thinking that it ain't no more money. Honey, it's more money than ever.
Plenty.
It's more money than ever out there. You just make sure you one of them. I mean, so these are the strategies that we're going to be teaching you. And for those of you, you may be saying, well, this event don't fit me. I don't want to be an influencer or become my own personal brand. I don't want to start no business. You know, I don't want to do that. I don't even know. I'm not going to come. It's not really for me. Yes, it is. Let me tell you why it's for you. Because Michelle going to be helping you on the personal credit side. So everybody got a personal. You a person, ain't you? So put that null on the personal. She's gonna help you with your personal finance.
Yes.
She's gonna help you with your personal finance. She's gonna let you know about credit. She's gonna let you know about all the things in order to get your life together so that you can leave a legacy and build wealth for your family, generational wealth. Or she say intergenerational wealth. That's her word. But anyway,
Dr. Tina, can I give a quick public service announcement?
Yeah, go ahead.
This event is going to give you access to the excess. All right.
Come on now.
This event,
come on, Preston.
Because like she just said, there's plenty of money out there to be made, but it's only people don't want to show you how to access it. And that's what this event is going to be about, access to the excess. Okay.
About to get your keys. You about to get them keys.
Yeah. Better lock in. Take some good notes. If people, but like Dr. Tina and Michelle and the rest of the guests, they shouldn't have to chase you down and force you to be successful. That's crazy. All right.
Exactly.
That don't make no sense. I tell you what, I'll be sitting in the front. Usually I'm about second or third. I'm gonna be middle, right in the front. Eyes big. What you say? Wait a minute. Hold on. What you say? Right?
I love it. Thank you guys for saying that, like sharing that, because people really need to understand that this is not just your ordinary meeting. This is not no conference where we just gonna be bored, where we gonna be falling asleep. No, we talking about giveaways. We gonna feed y'all. We gonna be doing some surprises. We gonna have some recognition. Like we gonna have it all. And if you miss out, I promise whoever you know gonna be there and they're gonna be like, you missed out, honey. And they ain't got another one until whenever, but this is gonna make history. This is gonna make history. So what do you need to do in order to get your tickets? Go to Eventbrite and pull up the Media and Wealth Summit for Columbia, South Carolina. We're going to be October the 11th at the River Center at Saluda Shows in Columbia, South Carolina. So make sure that you get your tickets and make sure that you are in the room because you don't want to miss this opportunity. I promise you, you will not regret this. I promise you, every person that's coming is going to be an elevation, and it's going to be so that the haves and the haves not is going to be made aware to the world of who you are if you come into this event. I promise you. Like, it ain't no other reason why you shouldn't be there. It ain't no reason. I don't care if you coming from near or far. Preston, he is handling all of the people that's coming in from out of town. You know, some of us in town might even go ahead and get us a room because we just don't want to be, we want to be right there with y'all. We want to be right there in the space with y'all. Listen, we are super excited to meet all of the KBBU alumni and all of the KBCR clientele. We are excited to meet the CTR Media family. We are excited to meet every single one of our businesses and what we bring to the whole event. Like I'm trying to tell you, this is going to be an event of a lifetime. You better not miss out. Go and get your tickets now because I promise you them tickets selling out. We ain't got but one, like I said, we ain't got but like one general ticket that's sold. Everybody else is buying up all of the VIP. Don't you want to be a very important person? Don't you want, listen, I ain't gonna tell y'all all the secrets. I done said enough. Y'all just go ahead to Eventbrite and get your ticket tonight. $97 for VIP, $125 plus tax for the vendor seats, for the vendor tables. And that's all I got to say for tonight. Listen, thank you guys for watching. We are super excited. We're going to keep this KBBU behind the scenes rolling. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Tell a friend, share, make a comment below of what you got from tonight. And we'll see you next Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Y'all have a blessed one. Now, bye-bye.